What's up, guys? Welcome back to another exciting episode of CC Outdoors. I am very low to the ground for some reason. This chair is not very tall. So today I'm going to be discussing my top 5 fall time baits for the season of fall, obviously, if you read the title. And so let's get into this video. The first one would have to be a square bill crankbait. Square bill crankbait is just good for windy conditions. They're good for just about anything, really. If you're having a hard time with the bite and you can't figure out what they want, you just pick up one of these things, tie it on, and you'll more than likely catch a fish. I just like to throw them out as far as you can towards a laydown or something and just crank them in slowly. And crankbait for my 5th one. The next one, it probably has to be this chatterbait. A chatterbait is not necessarily just a fall time bait, it's a good year-round bait. A lot of traffic on this road. Anyways, like I was saying, this isn't just necessarily just a fall time bait. You can use it just about any time, but I just prefer it in the fall time. Same thing with this. If you're just having a hard time, and these really excel when it's windy, especially because it's a reaction bait. So any reaction bait really, but I would just prefer a chatterbait because of the vibration and crazy extreme action this thing has. I just got a little swim bait rigged up on the back of this one. You can rig anything up on the back, but I just like a swim bait on the back. So, and you just want all natural colors like this black and blue. You can get solid black, a white chatterbait, just the natural colors and things like that. So that's my 4th one. The 3rd one has to be a jig. I know this was in my previous video with the top 5 summertime baits, but see, the thing is, a jig doesn't necessarily just excel like down in South Bassin. You know that kid? Yeah, him. It doesn't just necessarily excel in the summertime as good as it does in the fall time, because the bass are starting to get really finicky. Like, they're starting to feed off the bottom baits because they're starting to slow down on the movement. And so you just want something slow, a slow profile that you can drag around, and just they pick it up real simple, and sometimes they run with it. This is just probably a 1/4 ounce or a 3/8 ounce football head jig. Just got a little Zoom speed crawl rigged up on the back of this, and just a nice weed guard. And what I do, I like to throw it towards cover, sometimes in the cover, but not necessarily in it completely. And then I just like to slow roll it, maybe hop it around the bottom, sometimes even swim it. It just depends on what the fish are doing. That's my 3rd one. My 4th one, or my 2nd one, is a popper. I know popper is a topwater, but one of my favorite YouTubers, his name's John B. He throws a popper in the fall time, and he just catches them after fish on a popper. I mean, you can get any color you want, but I just prefer a chartreuse with, like a rooster tail on the back of it, like that one right there. And so, yeah, a popper, I just like to throw it out there. Sometimes you can walk it, but most of the time, if they have the cupped bill like this one does, as you can see right there, then they don't necessarily walk very good. They throw up water like they're supposed to. Anyways, I like to just throw it out there and pop it real hard one time and just work it back and get the fish stirred up. And my number 1 fall time bait has to be the Ned rig, also known as the turd bait. This thing has no action. I mean, just besides that right there. But other than that, no action. I don't know why the fish love it so much, but they do. Basically what it is, it's just a Senko in half on a jig head. That's all a Ned rig is. But it seriously, I mean, it has no action. And I just like to rig it up on a see here, what is this? Either a 1/8 ounce or a 1/4 ounce jig head. And I don't go by the actual Ned Rig baits like you're not so necessarily supposed to. I just buy packs of Senkos and then bite them in half, or cut them in half, whatever, and rig them up like that. What I like to do with this, sometimes, like the other day when I was fishing out here at the pond, I threw it out there and I was tying up something and my rod just directly starts going towards the water, and I set the hook and there's a fish on it, dead sticking it. So, I mean, I guess you could dead stick it, but what I like to do, I like to just throw it out there and then just hop it along the bottom back, so it gives that nice action like that. And it just looks like a little crawfish or something digging around in the bottom of the mud or whatever. And so this part of a Senko is probably about 3 inches long, so you don't need no longer than that. So these are my top 5 fall time baits. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll catch you guys in another episode.